Welcome back. Well, we're still asking the big question, has the market bottomed out and how should you approach the market next week? Vaibhav, the problem for this market has been, stocks like ICICI Bank. Who would have thought we will see 190 on ICICI? Forget about, the kind of big capitulation that we have seen in other stocks. At this level, is there temptation to go out and buy?
There is always a temptation to go out and buy the stocks which are hammered the most. But, one has to understand that for us, as a fund theory or a fund philosophy, we generally do not preempt. Secondly, in terms of the news flow which are going to come for the next 3 months to 4 months, do you see that the negative spate of news flows on the whole banking sector getting over? I don't see that, because one more quarter of numbers which are going to be equally bad, possibly.
But they've already said that. Now you know the NPL for next quarter.
But what happens is generally, always on a news which is supposed to come, you don't go and anticipate or you don't go and take a position ahead of it if you know that there is some amount of negative news which is going to come. So we'll rather wait probably for it. But yes, after March or April, things are going to be looking pretty exciting in terms of, at least in this space, when you will see the total cleanup already happened. And it will be extremely good for the long term in terms of the valuations and in terms of the potential growth which these banks would be able to participate in.
So you're not sensing the kind of continued recovery which Rajat was talking about for the next 2 weeks?
Again, it is extremely tough to determine what's going to happen in the next 2 weeks, because frankly, I don't have any tab on or any predictability in terms of the global environment or global scheme of things. And you have to understand that the current market scenario is largely global rather than local. So,
okay, let me give Prakash a longer period. Prakash, since you manage funds for longer term, for the next 1 year, what will you stay in?
Yeah, so, as Vaibhav said, it's maybe short term it's difficult, but for the long term you always believe that things would even out. And what we are kind of finally accepting is that the volatility is going to be extremely high, much higher than what we have ever grappled. So you're going to take advantage of that and not take too many long positions or too much of a long term view. But you look at companies which have posted good earnings and very convincingly, so it's not one-offs that have added and things like that. So I would still go ahead and buy the likes of an Asian Paint or a Hero MotoCorp, where we very clearly know things could be far insulated from what happens to a Chinese currency or to the interest rates in the US, because finally you will have to go back to the consumption theme, which is far more visible than any other themes that I can think of. Mid caps would take some time to come back in terms of interest, but the first chunk of appetite is going to be the staples, the large caps. But banking, I'm very clear. As you said, we all know that March end is also going to be equally bad. I don't want to wait, I don't want to buy in just because, I know it's going to be bad, but I would rather wait for the April, May, June quarter also to tell me whether things have improved. So till July, the numbers come out, I don't think banking is going to be in any great fittle.
Okay. Rajat, you have a bunch of stock ideas. Tell us the top 2 buys and your top sell for next week.
My top 2 buys would be Idea. I would say that yesterday I gave a buy call and it met its target and it closed even beyond the target that I gave. It closed at 109.65 and now the stop loss should be placed below 104.80 and the targets are 115.60 and 119. And the other stock would be, other buy call that I would like to choose would be Eicher Motors, stop below 17,743 and my target on the upside is 18,716, 18,716. It's a positional target. That means it's not just for the Monday. You can actually carry it over. And the top sell candidate would be Britannia. Again, it's a positional target. The chart looks horrible, I would say. A stop above 26.15, closed at 25.64, and the positional target would be 2,384. So 2 buys and 1 sell as you ordered.
All right, Rajat. Thanks a lot for joining us on a weekend. and giving us those strategies. Prakash and Vaibhav, thanks a lot
Thank you.
for joining us in our studios and
luck.
making time on a weekend. And well, we'll hope that with the kind of, or the bulls would hope that with the kind of recovery that you saw in US markets, European markets, the fall in volatility, maybe the market has put a bit of a near-term floor, but then the big risk of this market being similar to 2008 still remains. That's all the time that we have on this special edition of Market, the Fear Factor Taking Stock. We'll have programming through the weekend.